How hot is it in Texas?
I'm glad I'm an indoor cat.
A little hot.
Here's the result of my little heat experiment. I put it on the porch and was wanting to see if the crayons would melt on their own. I've done a project like this before where we used a blow dryer, and then I think we actually ended up using a heat gun to melt crayons down, and then we had put we had cricketed some shapes and then peeled those off so it left like a silhouette shape. So that's where I kind of got the idea. But I wanted to see, since it's been so hot in Texas, if it would melt on its own. So it's kind of like a little, you know, science experiment slash kind of art take, a little art spin on it. But this is what I ended up with. And if you guys haven't seen, recently I did a canvas stretched, like crochet stretched over a canvas, and I want to do more of those. I really liked how that came out, so I wanted to play around with the idea some more. And I thought that this would make a really nice background. For my other canvas, I painted the whole thing black, and then I put the crochet over it. But for this one, I was like, okay, I'll use the colorful wax as the background for my crochet. So I don't know if I'm going to leave the crayon, like wrappings on here or not. They are empty and they're solidified because the wax like melts and then rehardens. So they're actually solid, like tube shapes, if you can't hear that. So they won't get smushed or anything, but I'm thinking I probably will take them off just because I don't know how the crochet will lay over it. But for now, I'm going to leave them on there and I'll see how it works out. So I'm going to be using this as my background. I want to use some thinner yarns. That way you can see the color through it. I don't want the crochet to completely cover up the colors. Okay, so I picked for this, these two yarns that I'm thinking about using. These are both hand-dyed yarns from Hobby Lobby that I got in clearance. I have a few different ones of these types of yarns, and I love to like save them for like special projects and stuff, but I also have this habit of not using them because they're my fancy pretty yarns, even though I got them in clearance. So I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to go and use some of those this time. So these are nice thin yarns. They're like 1 or 2 weight yarns, especially this one. Can't remember if these, I think they're the same weight, but I'm not sure. This one looks like it might be a little bit thicker, but it is a very thin yarn. So they're both this kind of speckled looking yarn. This one's blue with, you know, like the tweed kind of effect going on in it. And then this one is white with like a tie-dye kind of effect going on in it. And the tweedish sort of effect in this one is also like a tie-dye splatter. So here's what the yarns look like that I am planning on using. And like I said, I want them to be thin, so I'm going to be using like a little bit bigger hook than you would usually use with those. And then I am planning on making a mandala out of this Mandalas to Crochet book. So I'm going to flip through here and get some ideas of what I want to use, and then I'll come back and I will show you guys what I'm thinking. Okay, so I actually forgot. They have this section where you can see the different mandalas that are in here without actually like showing all the patterns and stuff. I have talked about this book on my channel before, so if you are interested in like a look through for it, I will try to find the video where I've talked about this book before so you can kind of see what you can expect from it. So these are some different color things, like to show you like how big of a difference color can make. These are all the same mandala, just done in different colors, which is pretty crazy. This is the part before you actually use the book. Like, it doesn't have the patterns or anything. It's just stitch, like examples, and things like that. All right, so here we go. We've got that one, which is really pretty. This is a contender, I think. So that's Strawberry Blossom. We've got that one. We've got this one down here, but I'm thinking this is a little more solid than I want. I want something that is a little bit more like lacy, if you would consider that lacy, but you know what I mean, like with a little bit more gaps in it, because I want the back color to pop through the canvas color. So like something like this, one of these three is not what I'm looking for. So far I'm thinking Strawberry Blossom. And I am using a thinner yarn and like a little bit bigger of a hook, which will make it so you can see through these a little bit more, these stitches. So they won't be completely solid. So something like this that looks like it's more solid with only a little bit of gaps, this will be more gappy than it looks. So this is Make It Pop. I think that one could be a contender. This one is Lovely Lace. That absolutely could be a contender. And if I'm making it and it's getting too big for the canvas that I'm using, because it is a small canvas, I'll just end the mandala early. That's the nice thing about mandalas, is you can end them early and it's not going to look weird at all. Something like this wouldn't work for this project, but that is so cool. It's a bewitching basket weave. That's really cool too. Something like this could definitely work. That is definitely lacy. This one is Leaves and Lace. So I guess it's because it's got kind of leaf shapes going on in here. So that's pretty cool. That could be an option. This could be an option, but I don't think I like it as much as some of the other ones. That could be an option, which is the same thing as over here. I've done similar things to this before. You do this by doing like spike stitches. And you just keep doing them down over the front of your work. I really love how that looks. It's so fun. Actually, that might be the one. It looks like it's also a smaller mandala, which with this being a small canvas, that could definitely be an option. And then we've got this one down here, which could definitely work as well. So what is this one? This is 4. Let's see. Vintage Vibes. So 4 and 6 are both vintage vibes. And then this one is 7. So this is Layers and Loops. Okay, I'm thinking Vintage Vibes. That could work. I wonder how big that one would come out. Because with this mandala, you would definitely need to kind of finish the whole thing. You wouldn't really want to end this one early. Well, you could end it early, I suppose. It would just not be so much of a mandala and more of just flowers on a canvas. But I do like that as an idea. And I am doing flower projects for that crochet along that I'm part of. So that Moose Flower Power Cow. So that's an option. Here's some pretty like kind of scallopy looks. So this one is Say It With Flowers. And this one is Field of Wildflowers. This one doesn't look as flower, you know, as obviously flowers as the other one does. I like that. That's cool. This is more of like a kind of a granny square, but like a circle instead, like granny stitch mandala. This is the one that I used for my other one, actually. But then I put I had this as the base, and then I did like another flower and attached it on, so that it's layered. I actually did this flower right here in the middle, another flower, and another flower. So it's actually 3 flowers that I layered together to kind of give like a 3D effect in the middle of my other canvas project. Ooh, that could work. Oh, it's called Oriental Lily, which is one of my favorite flowers. Oriental lilies and Asiatic lilies are my favorite flowers. So that kind of feels like a little bit meant to be. I love this, but I know that part of the reason I love it is just that I like the way that the colors are arranged. And I don't know if this would necessarily be for this project. It looks like it's probably really big with the way that it's zoomed in, at least. I don't know if all of these are like to scale or not. That is actually gorgeous. I am going to have a really hard time picking, guys. I really like that too. Oh, I'm getting into some ones that are perfect for the type of project that I'm doing, where I want you to be able to see through it. These look like tulips. Like tulips and tulips. What is this one called? Tulips from Amsterdam. I love that. Ooh, that might be the one. Guys, okay. Well, it's okay that I have so many that I'm inspired by for this, because I'm planning on doing basically like a series of canvas, crochet canvas pieces. So I'm going to keep using this book to make things to go stretch over canvas. So it just gives me more options. It's always a good thing to have options. I love this too. This one really gives me granny square vibes. It kind of is like a granny hexagon. I mean, not made up of grannies, but like it kind of reminds me of a granny hexagon. It looks like those are probably triple crochets in the brown color. Looks like these are grannies in the beginning. These, at least right here, are grannies. These are grannies. And have we gone through all of them now? We have. Okay. So I am going to rack my brain and decide which one I'm going to make. Wish me luck, and you'll see in like 2 seconds with movie magic. Okay, guys, I decided that I'm going to make the tulips from Amsterdam, because I think that this will fit really well into my kind of floral theme that I was kind of wanting to keep with, and go along perfectly for my my crochet along that I'm part of. Sorry for my dog, like slightly doing little disgruntled bark sounds. They are working on the apartment under my apartment, and they're hammering, and she's like thinking that that's like knocking or something. So, okay, I went ahead and grabbed some yarn. So I'm thinking I will use this yarn still for the like cream color that they're using. But since I'm doing this tulip motif, I want the green to show, you know, the green for the flowers, for like the like leaves and oh man, what's the name of the part of this part of the flower? Not like the stalk. There's actually a word for it. Whatever. You guys get the idea. It's like it keeps popping in my head and then popping back out. Stamen, maybe? I can't remember. Anyway, about it. I wanted to have green for that. So I grabbed some of these Rainbow Rhapsodies that I was very lucky to snag on clearance at Hobby Lobby. I try to buy all of my yarn on clearance if at all possible, because that is a lot more budget friendly. And it's got this pretty green color in the center, especially when it gets out a little bit further, it gets like darker. But even in the center, it has it kind of double stranded together. And this is a super fine 1-weight yarn. See if I can make sure that focuses for you guys. That is 60% cotton and 40% acrylic, and it is a super fine one. And I knew that this yarn was a super fine one so that it would go well with that other one. So the reason I grabbed a bunch of these is because I don't have a whole lot of thin yarns, but I thought that these would be perfect. So I've got the green, and then I was thinking, so I have a few different color options for my tulips, because there are 3 rows of tulips. I've got this, which has this really pretty purple and pink color that is, you know, double stranded together on the outside. If I could grab just one single thread, that would be lovely. Here we go. It's got this purple and pink color. And then in the center, I also have this option as a green option. I can kind of pick. It's more of like a blue with a yellow green. So they're like, you know, 2 different green options. And then I grabbed this one because it's got this really pretty pink in the middle. And like I said, this is also this Rainbow Rhapsody. All of these are Rainbow Rhapsody that I was able to get on clearance at Hobby Lobby. So back when they were doing their big clearance. So this pretty pink in the middle I thought would also be pretty for these tulips. So we're gonna see. I'm super curious how this is gonna look in this really skinny yarn. Oops. Forgot to focus it afterwards. We're gonna see how this comes out in these yarns, but I will keep you guys kind of in the loop as I come along, and then we will meet back up and see how it all works together, stretching it over the canvas and seeing the final product. All right, little check-in video. I just finished the round right after this tulip round. So there's this tulip round that's a little bit different looking, and then there's this one and this one. Well, I did this one solid round after the tulip round, and I think that I'm about at the size that I need for my canvas. So I'm going to do this second solid round differently and make it more gappy by doing some clusters and chains so that I can easily stretch it over the canvas. So this is where I ended my last round, and I'm gonna do some clusters and chains. So what I'm thinking I'll do is I will slip stitch my way over to the middle of this in between these tulips, so that I'm not putting my little cluster like literally right across from that, because I don't think that that'll give me the way, like a look like I'm wanting. So I'll go ahead and slip stitch into here, and then I'm thinking I will actually make I'll do like 4 double crochets together or something, and then I'll chain and I'll do the same thing in the middle of that one. So here's what I'm thinking right now. I'm not 100% married to this just because it does look so similar to the tulip round. So I might change it, but this is what I've got going right now. What I'm supposed to do for this round is actually just do a half double crochet in every stitch around, no increasing or anything. But I'm getting to the point where I think that this round is probably going to be the round that I stretch to go over the corners of my canvas. And in order to do that, it needs to be a loose, kind of spacious, you know, in between the stitches kind of round, not a solid round. So I'm gonna do this and see what I think, and if I don't like it, I'll pull it out and I'll do something else. But the next time that I come back to you, I will be stretching it onto the canvas and we will see what it looks like.